Podcast 1: Believe in Magic or Believe in Miracles. So, when I was 16 years old, I dropped out of high school and I signed up to this kung fu school called Silumangar. And it was overlooking Music Plus on St. Catherine Street near the Place des Arts region. And so I practiced every day for 3 to 4 hours. I would spend about 2, 3 classes at the school. And then at nighttime, I would go to the gym and do some weight training and so on and so forth. And basically, within 6 months of my practice, there was this other school that was being built next door to my Kung Fu school. And I saw these guys in these amazing positions, legs over the head, crazy deep back bends, crazy deep forward bends, you name it. And so at the time I didn't know it, but the owner of the school was Mark Darby. And the school was Ashtanga, Montreal. So years and years had passed, and I continued my athletic ventures. I did some Muay Thai, I did some Aikido, I continued some muscle training in the gym, and so on and so forth. And then one day I was 25 years old, and I was working at the Guy Concordia area. And I suppose that Mark Darby must have sold the school in front of Place des Arts, or in front of Music Plus, and he had moved there. But I didn't know this. So every day between the ages of 25 and 27, I would pass by the school, always with the intention of practicing at the school. And I basically never had the chance to go because it always conflicted with my schedule. To practice there, I would have to go downtown in the morning, then come back to St. Leonard, which, for those of you who know the distance, is about an hour and 15 minutes away by bus and metro. And then I would have to go back for 3:30 to do my shift. So it just didn't happen. At some point, I was working at another place, and by the way, this job that I had, I was working as a waiter slash busboy slash restoration and so on and so forth. At some point, I was working as a waiter, and something happened, and I got laid off, and I was like, this is finished. I don't want to work in the restoration business anymore. And I had a few $1,000s in my drawer. So I went to this place in front of Guy Metro, and it was called Sattva Shala Yoga. And I see this guy, Mark Darby, who's the same guy who I had seen 9 years earlier near my Kung Fu school. So I go there, and it was something like $150 for 3 months unlimited. And the lady asked me, she goes, don't you just want to try it out? I said, no, I think I came to the right place. So again, this is something I didn't know, but Mark Darby is one of the top 2 or 3 teachers, or at least one of the teachers with the most experience in yoga on the island of Montreal. I just went to a school because it is the only yoga school I really knew. And so then I signed up for their teacher training, which was roughly 7 years ago in this period. It was roughly January. And so this thing cost me $3,000. I didn't think I would get my money back. It wasn't even about money. I just wanted to practice yoga, and it was really fun. And at the end of that year, if you look at my pay stub, because I only practiced yoga for the better part of the year with minimal jobs in the middle, I had earned like $5,000. That's it, like way below poverty line. Luckily, I was living with my parents, and so that part facilitated me practicing. But there was no spoiling myself or buying anything for myself, or like, it was just basic food, essentials, yoga mat, practice yoga, repeat, a lot of repetition. So the believe in magic or miracles part. About 2 months before my teacher training ends, I wanted to work at a local gym. And a lot of people say there's no money in yoga and there's no money in fitness in some ways. And there is. I'm here to tell you there is. You just have to be very crafty and very hardworking. But if you have these skills, you'll make money in nearly anything that you put your head to. Essentially, I went to this gym called the Leonardo da Vinci Center, which is near my house in St. Leonard. Literally, it's an 8-minute bicycle ride. And I went for a job, and I asked the guy, can I work here? And at the time I went, it was the middle of winter, it was -40, I had this mask on, I looked like I was homeless living in the middle of the street. And so the guy was super hesitant. He's like, well, do you have your certificate? I said, well, I have it in 2 months. And so he brushed me off. He's like, okay, well then come back when you have it. So I'm like, oh man, I really didn't get this job yet. So at some point, I added the guy on the Facebook just for the mere sake that he was a musician. I thought he would appreciate some of the music videos I had made that I posted on YouTube. And so I sent him my YouTube videos via Facebook, forgetting that I actually had some exercise videos that I had done at the time. So he watches my exercise videos and he actually contacts me now. He's like, listen, we have an opening. There's this girl traveling to the Grand Canyon who teaches yoga here, and she won't be able to continue teaching the class for that given period. If you want, you can replace her, and then we see how it goes. So I replace her, and then it turns out she's opening up a yoga studio. So I replace her, she's opening up a yoga studio. Next thing I know, I get 2 of my own classes at the center. I get her 2 classes, which was 4 classes. And she was diligent enough, along with her partner, Jennifer or Jenny Brancaccio, to give me 5 or 6 classes. I don't remember because this was like 7 years ago. And so the next thing I know, before my teacher training is over, I'm earning my money just from teaching yoga. And so this was 7 years ago. And to be honest, I haven't had to do anything but yoga and or exercise. So I'm really in this field, that's it, for the past 7 years to earn my keep. And why I say believe in magic, it really just started with this idea that I had $3,000 in my drawer. I took a little chance, I buckled it down, I made all the given sacrifices. I wasn't partying, I wasn't spending money on trips, I wasn't spending money on clothes. I was really just focused on my yoga practice and hopefully with the intention of teaching at some point. And all these doors opened up. And so today we're 2017, and I actually sometimes teach at a home. I work at Yoga Lounge, I work at Met Gym, I work at United Gym for Women, and mainly I still work at LDV. And I hope to always work at LDV because it's the first gym that hired me. It's kind of become like a second home. I had left Yoga Lounge for a while, and I'm really, really happy I'm back there. Jenny is an awesome boss. And so that's pretty much it. That's my belief in magic or believe in miracles. You just got to put yourself out there and work extremely hard and work and hope that whatever it is that you do, you're doing it with passion and you're doing it with grace and you're putting in all the energy that you could possibly put in. And if all these things fall even or parallel, somebody is going to look at your work and say, this person deserves to make money off this, or this person deserves to do well off of this. And okay, all this being said, yoga is a spiritual journey. Your personal yoga practice should be about spirituality and contacting yourself and reaching higher levels of who you are as a person. But hey, let's face the fact, we're in a modern society and we need to eat. So I'd like to do my spiritual practice and make it monetary as well because I need to eat, versus having a spiritual practice and on the side doing a job I absolutely can't stand. So I also made this podcast for Anna and Nisha C, who are working on promoting their clothing line, Kalula Apparel. And they want to hear quirky or funny or serious stories about yoga and yoga teachers. I haven't tried their clothes because they don't have clothes for men yet, although I hope to be the first one to try them. But their yoga mats are amazing. So this is my podcast 1. Go out there, work on whatever it is that you love to do, and believe in magic, believe in miracles, because your life could be exactly how you want if you work hard enough to make it so. Namaste.